You fools! You think just because Blue Eyes got knocked off the tier 1 status on Master Duel that is done so? Not a chance. Blue Eyes is still in this. In today's episode, we're going to be going over the newest version of Blue Eyes for Season 47 of Master Duel. This deck can still do amazingly well and pop up like crazy against the top tier meta decks. It's got plenty of room to play some special cards and has special cards of its own already ingrained into the deck that can interact some of the top best decks like Orcust and Mitsurugi. It does not matter if Blue Eyes is not the tier 1 status, it can still do amazingly well in Master Duel, and it's gonna be kicking butt and taking names. So let's make Sato Kaiba proud and dominate Master Duel with a wrath of Blue Eyes! What's going on, my friend? This is SynchroGuy, and today I want to showcase my newest version of Blue Eyes for the newest season of Master Duel. And this deck, Blue Eyes, is so great. It is so much fun, and just yes. As I mentioned before, Blue Eyes is able to do well against some of the top tier meta decks in Master Duel right now. Because again, there's some good decks that were ragged to using stuff in the graveyard, and thankfully with a deck like Blue Eyes, we have ways to interact and stop stuff that goes on in the graveyard. Along with, we got plenty of other cards to work with that can really just put the brakes on our opponent. Of course, Blue Eyes, you know, sometimes it can be very difficult on the off chance that you have to go second, which really suck. But with this version of Blue Eyes that I've cooked up, even if you have the unfortunate chance of going second, you have a good chance of still doing well and kicking butts. Even I surprised myself when I had to go second, and let me tell you, that was a lot. They were tough, but you know what, I still managed to do well and just kick things off. Blue Eyes is still such an amazing deck that you can still perform well with in the Master Duel currently. So yeah, if you're a big Blue Eyes fan and you want to start using this deck to kick those tier meta decks butts, I will show you how to do just that. Now, before we get into the deck, don't forget to hit that like button, click subscribe, and ding that notification bell so you can get more awesome Yu-Gi-Oh! Related content. And also comment down below what you think of my Blue Eyes deck, and also, like, if you have any questions or stuff about it, I'd be more than happy to help answer whatever kind of questions you have. And maybe if you got any suggestions for maybe like edits to the deck you think could possibly help make it better, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Alright, let's get into the deck. Here's our current deck list for Blue Eyes for Season 47 of Master Duel. So in this deck, we're playing 2 copies of Blue Eyes White Dragon, 2 copies of Effect Veiler, 2 copies of the newly semi-limited Drone Lockbird, 3 copies of Sage, 2 copies of Maiden, 2 Maxi, 3 copies of Ash Blossom, 3 Flawless, 3 copies of Burley, 2 copies of Lancia, and to round out the monster count. And then we're playing for the spells 3 copies of Wishes, 1 copy of Roar, 1 copy of Mausoleum, 3 copies of Lordy Load, 1 copy of Drill Beam, and then that does it for the spells. For the traps, we're playing 2 copies of Infinite Impermanence, 3 copies of Dominus Purge, 1 copy of Majesty, and 1 copy of True Light. And then for the extra deck, we're playing 1 copy of Tyrant Dragon, 1 copy of Neo Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, 1 copy of Ancient Fairy Life Dragon for for OTK plays. 2 copies of Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon, 1 copy of Lightstorm Dragon, 1 copy of Baronade de Fleur, or 1 Cosmic Blazer Dragon, 1 Crimson Dragon, 1 copy of Blue Eyes Ultimate Spirit Dragon, 1 copy of Typhon, 2 copies of Spirit with Eyes of Blue, and 2 copies of Ryzeal of the Heavenly Spheres. Now, to quickly point out a couple things here. So, in this deck, we are playing 19 hand traps in total. 19. Yes, that is a lot, and that may seem crazy. Like, why the hell are we playing so many hand traps? Well, if you see the best decks in the current formats of Master Duel right now, their engines are freaking crazy. Like, our Blue Eyes deck doesn't quite well compete well against their engines. Like, if it was the Blue Eyes engine versus like the engine of like Orcust, Mitsurugi, Ryzeal, we're more than likely probably going to lose more than not often. So of course we want to be able to either stop those decks or be able to protect our plays, both if possible. So we have to place a bunch of different ways that can try to not just interact with our opponent, but also potentially take away tempo from our opponent. And if you don't know what tempo is, tempo just means the ability to play the game. Hey, and we want to try to rob that of our opponent so that we have a chance, because again, if they get to play their engine, we probably don't have a chance, and we don't want to experience that. Yeah, we want to try to keep them off, prevent that from happening. So this is the best way you can do this. And the reason I'm playing 19 hand traps on Chodos is because, for my base assumption from play testing with the Blue Eyes deck, we preferably need to see at least 2 hand traps in our opening hand, because 1 hand trap isn't gonna cut it against decks like the best decks right now. 1 hand trap is really not gonna cut it unless it's a very good card like Droll or Lancia, Maxi, but it's not always gonna happen. Like, sometimes we'll just probably have the Effect Veiler, Imperm, or Purge, and I mean, cool, but it's not gonna be enough. We need to see possibly more. Like, we need more to try to really put the brakes on our opponent. After doing the math on this, I figured out that the when you play 19 of these hand traps in a 40 card deck, you have I believe it's a 79.6% chance of seeing at least 2 hand traps in your opening hand. So you can rough that up to about 8%. So basically, 8 out of 10 of your duels, you're gonna see at least 2 hand traps, which is gonna be great, because that's exactly what we need to see. Again, just 1 isn't gonna cut it, so we need to try to see, do our best to increase that number as best as we can, without ruining the consistency of our deck. And with our deck, it's gonna be, if 19 hand traps is still quite a lot. However, what I also discover is that with our Blue Eyes deck, we don't need to see multiple starter cards in our opening hand. Like, we just need to see at least 1 starter card, just 1. Like, again, like, if you've got at least 1 copy of Sage, you've got combo. You got at least 1 copy of Maiden, you've got combo. You got 1 copy of Burly or Wishes, you've got combo. So yeah, we have plenty ways to get into our combo. Like, we just need at least to see 1 of them, and with 14 starter cards for our deck, our chance of seeing at least 1 of them in our opening hand, that's 90%. So 9 out of 10 duels, we're gonna see at least 1, which is perfect. That's all we need, and the rest could possibly just be our hand traps, or some of our other kind of bricks in the deck. And if we didn't have to play so many kind of bricks, maybe we could play some other cards like maybe like cross out decks and they are called by the grave, but that's currently not the case. And right now, I'm valuing being able to take tempo away for our opponent rather than trying to protect our place. And I will tell you right now, I really like the way my deck is right now, especially because of the fact, well, from this past like week or 2, out of all my duels, 75 to 80% of my duels, I lost a coin toss and had to go second. Like, that is not great. A Blue Eyes deck like this wants to go first. We want to go first, but if we go second, that's going to be so hard. And again, I experienced that 75 to 80% of all my duels lately, and it was tough. It was not easy. Like, yeah, so if you're going second a whole lot, we need to see ways to try to take tempo away from our opponents. Like, yeah, So as much as I like to be able to play a bunch of other cards, for going first, but right now, with my luck, I have been going like just second so much that I need to see more cards that could try to take tempo away from my opponent and give me a chance to be able to win my duel. So yeah, and best of 1 format like Master Duel, I think something like this will be necessary. But I think I talked about the deck a whole lot. Let's get into the replays and showcase just what this deck can do, and of course how well you can fare even if you unfortunately end up going second. Let's get into it. Alright, in this first replay, we're going to be going first, and I want to showcase the basic combo the Blue Eyes deck can do that you want to try to pull off if you can. Yeah. So, we're going to start off by activating the Lord of Laurel to get us a copy of Burly, and possibly maybe see if there's a, Ash Blast, some possibly. Like, we'll go ahead and normal summon it out, the Burly to get the Drill Beam, link some of that off to get the Spirit with Eyes of Blue, have that to search a Mausoleum. And since, no Drill, no Ash, we're good. We can start going full combo. So we'll go ahead and use the wishes to search out Sage and Majesty, just in case. And then we'll normal summon out the Sage to get a copy of Maiden, use me to set the True Light, and then of course we'll use the Field spell to set a copy of Blue Eyes, use Spirit to special summon out that Blue Eyes, and which will trigger the Maiden in Graveyard, so that way we can special summon it out and get some secret plays really going. We'll then use our wishes to equip the Neoblaze Ultra Giant onto a Blue Eyes, and so that way it goes to Graveyard to get target protection. Synchro Summon to Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon, use our True Light to such on back Blue Eyes, and then Synchro Summon to another copy of Spirit Dragon, and then with loading load left, we will summon out the other copy of Blue Eyes, so we got the full 2 pots with our Majesties, and yeah. But here, this is the ultimate board. Let's see what our opponent tries to do. Oh, they activate Dark Hole. Okay, we're gonna have to use the Drill Beam here since, you know, don't have any other ways to kind of stop it. So, but we'll tag out one of our Spirit Dragons to go to Ultra Spirit Dragon, so that way we have an Omni Gate still on board. They're gonna chain the Maxi. Hey, okay, crap, but you know, that's fine because we do have Draw and Lockbird in our hands, so we can at least put a stop to both their draws and other potential searches they may have wanted to try to do. So yeah, and it's like if they want to call by that, good luck, because our Ultimate Search will prevent that. They're going to activate the Ultimate Slayer to try to get rid of our other copy of this Blue-Eyed Spirit Dragon, and we're going to chain True Light to that, so that way we can activate the Blue-Eyed Spirit Dragon, because Spirit Dragon can't chain to the Ultimate Slayer, because of the, you know, card text. But anyway, we are able to successfully dodge the target and bring out our Crimson Dragon, and of course, you know, such the another copy of Blue Eyes. Since we are already out of searches for wishes. Anyway, they use Golden Cloud Piece to try to balance our Ultimate Spirit Dragon. We're going to use Neo Blight's Ultra Dragon to protect that. And we'll, of course, we'll tag out Crimson Dragon to go into Cosmic Blazer Dragon. Oh, I'm finally glad to see it get summoned animation. Well deserved. Alright, they're going to activate another copy of Dark Hole. And, okay, that's fine. We'll use our Ultimate Spirit Dragon to negate that. Yeah, they still have 3 cards left to hand. Let's see what else they've got to try to stop us or interact with us. They're gonna use Lightning Surge to pop our Barco. I don't think we can let that go through. So we'll tag out our Cosmic Blazer Dragon to negate that, and let's see what else we got if we can stop it. They're gonna use Thrust. But unfortunately, they must have forgotten that we drove them because, yeah, they can't add to hand, and whatever card they said can't activate it. So, yeah, I mean, they could probably set a trap, but if they do, we're just gonna pop it with Majesty. So, yeah. Blue Eyes deck, love ya. Alright, let's get to the next replay. Alright, for this next replay, we're gonna be going first yet again. And I just wanted to quickly showcase, like, you know, what happens if, you know, my opponent does have some foreign interaction to try to stop our combo play. You know, like, you know, I just want to showcase that what our opponent throws at us, you know, some cards, might probably stop us, but, you know, but with this deck, we're able to play around some of these hand traps. So even if they hit us with a couple of stuff, we're good. We can play around this stuff. So we normal summon a Burley to set the loading load, which we'll use to search out Drill Beam, link summon into the Spirit Eyes of Blue, get the Field Spell, use that to normal summon out the Sage, and search a copy out of Effect Veiler. Alright, that would be nice. And then, of course, since, you know, we already have, no surprise that we have made in hand, so might as well not keep that information hidden in front of our opponent any longer. So use it to set the True Light, Field Spell to send the Blue Eyes, such as summon out Blue Eyes. Yeah, I think you know how this goes. Yeah. Now, normally this would be the part where I would be able to, let's go. Yeah, this is the part where I normally be able to summon out a second copy of Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon, and set up plays for a possible whole another like Crimson Dragon, Ultimate Spirit Dragon tag out. But right here they're gonna drop Nibiru. Yeah, that's unfortunate. It would have been nice, but you know what? They want to nib us. Fine, that's fine. We still got plenty of ways to disrupt our opponent. Plenty of ways. This isn't the end. And so at the start of draw phase, we're going to such on a copy of Blood so that we can turn on our Drill Beam. They're going to activate Call by the Graven. Did they have to banish the good one? They're going to pay for that. We'll session out our other copy of Blue Eyes. Trigger being session summon that, and of course, one pop, that's fine. We'll just do work with God. Session summon out Orcust Hard Power. We're going to banish us if they have Orcust combo, and bam! We got it! Yeah, so they could throw out some hand traps at us, but we got some cards to defend ourselves with, and if they do manage to hit us with those things, we can play around them, we can deal with it, we will be okay. Alright, now I want to get to the next couple of replays where what happens if we have to go second, because again, I have gone second a lot during these past few weeks. Even though you want to go first with this deck, it is possible to go second and still pull the win. I want to showcase that. So let's get into the next replay. Alright, for this next replay, we're going to be going second up against Ryzeal. And I just wanted to showcase that if you do happen to go second, the way this with this deck structure, more often than not, you should be able to see at least 2 hand traps in your opening hand that can deal with your opponent should you end up being unfortunate to have to go second. So, our opponent's going to start off, and our hand is looking good. We got Import, we got Effect Field, we have Max C. Yeah, so, and we got at least 1 star card. So, yeah, if we can stop our opponent and get our play and just do our play, we're good. They're going to use the 7th Tachyon to search our Ice Ryzeal, normal summon out to get Special Summon. We're going to activate Max C, see if that, that sticks. If not, we got ways to negate the Ice Ryzeal. Luckily it does, and we get a draw. They'll go for X Ryzeal and get a search. And you know what, and we're not going to negate that because, again, they want to play, that's fine, we'll get more draws. And apparently they stopped it there, no dead there. Okay, then we'll normal summon out our Burley, use this effect to set Lord of Log and get the search for the Joe Bean. Okay, and then right here they're gonna activate Droll and Lockbird. Okay, I see you. That, you know what, that's fine. You draw us, that's fine. We've still got we got other ways to deal with this. So we're gonna use stage to just get rid of our Burley to summon out Blue Eyes Reject, and we'll have Blue Eyes attack into one of the monsters, so that we, don't have much of a chance to summon a rank 4 monster during turn. We'll use Lord Yula to summon out a second copy of Blue Eyes, so our Majesty is for all 2 pops, and we'll pass. I could have gone into Harag Sphere, but I chose not to because if, I want to be able to have Drill Beam live here.
Hi, this is SynchroGuy from the future. I just want to quickly point out that I actually could have gone to Harag Sphere because I do have a copy of Primary Lodi Lord in my hand, so the Joby would have been live either way, even if I linked them into Sphere. So, yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. Both of them might do a relief play, but I just want to quickly point out that error. Anyway, let's skip over this and just get back to the duel. Thanks.
So anyway, we'll pass here. Let's see what our opponent tries to do. They're going to summon out Sword Riser to get a search. We're going to activate Majesty to pop those monsters so they, have less stuff to work with. And of course, we'll activate Chain Infinite Permanence to get the search prevention go. And yeah, so now how they don't get a search, they lost 2 monsters. So now they have to commit a little bit more. If they try to, we got some ways to try to stop it. They're going to normal summon out no Ryzeal and try to bring back one of Ryzeal's monsters. We're going to chain Effect Layer to negate it, and now they're down to just 1 card. So whatever it be, a monster, we'll banish it. If they activate a spell, how to get a search, we'll negate it. And look at that. They got Mitsurugi stuff. Nope, we're not going to let that happen. And yeah, GG's. Yeah. Okay, so that was just one good example. But now let's get into another good going second example. So let's get into it. Alright, for this last replay, we're going to be going second up against Maliss. And our hand looks, not too bad. Again, we've got plenty of interactions to interact with our opponent with. And plus, again, we have one of our starters, which is good enough. So let's see how this goes. Our opponent's going to set 2 cards, and they're going to summon out the Dormouse. We're going to try to stop that. Unfortunately, though, they do have one of their Maliss traps, so they're going to be able to dodge that crap. But thankfully, since it's the one that adds, we're going to have Dominus Purge negate that, so that way they don't get to get it in on their other Maliss monster, so a March Hare. There we go. Now, and of course, the Dormouse will resolve. They're going to banish the White Rabbit, and they're going to special on both of those monsters. So yeah, and then of course, White Rabbit will of course set one of the other Maliss trap cards. Alright, so that's fine. They're gonna set the GWC. Hey, and here we're gonna chain the followers to get some draws going. At least we try to, but unfortunately, caught by the grave. Crap. When you have it, you have it. But it's fine. We still got plenty of interactions. They're gonna link some into Splash Mage. They're gonna try to bring back one of the Maliss monsters, and we're gonna put a stop to that. Because again, that Maliss trap is not going to work unless they banish the Maliss monster, which they don't have right now. So, yeah, let's see if they have anything centered. Nope, they're going to pass. Whew! Alright, we got a chance. We're going to draw, and again, we only... Field Spell, probably not the greatest draw, but you know what? Again, we have one of our stars, so just one of them is good enough. We'll use Minion to set the True Light, use it to set the wishes, activate wishes, and thankfully, successfully goes through, so we get some searches going. Search out Sage, search out the Ward, or we'll normal summon out the Sage, and They decide to imperm this. Okay, I guess they just don't want us like purposely add another copy of Heckler or something. Kind of weird, but all right. That's fine. We'll go ahead and just use our roar to special summon Blue Eyes, trigger the man to special summon out. And of course we'll use wishes to go into the Blue Eyes Tyrant Dragon, so that way we can reset our track card Dominus Purge, and have further interaction trying to stop our opponent. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and reset that, and of course, you know, we all got rid of the Splashlight, so they won't be able to bring back a Maliss monster. So, and then Synchro Summon to Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon, and we'll pass from there. We'll tag out the Spirit Dragon to go into the Ultimate Spirit Dragon. Surprisingly, actually didn't activate their trap card, but I don't know what's going through their head at the moment, but anyway, they'll activate their trap card. We're gonna stop that just to try to keep them off a potential plays. That's because that's the best we can do right now. And apparently good enough. They got nothing else, or our purge would have just stopped what other possible card they had. So yeah. Alright, so yeah, that's a Blue Eyes deck in action for the newest season of Master Duel. Blue Eyes is still performing very well even in this current season. So you go up against Orcust, Maliss, Mitsurugi, doesn't matter. We have ways to deal with them. Do not underestimate the power of Blue Eyes if you face this deck. Never. Thank you again so much for watching, my friend, and I hope you have /had an awesome day today.